Good morning, boys and girls. We're welcome back this morning. It is Mother's Day. If you have not wished your mother a happy Mother's Day yet, you might want to real quick hit pause and run and do that and then come back. But our lesson today is actually not on moms, but hopefully you've had an opportunity to thank your mom for all that she's done for you. We are back in the life of David. As Peter's recently pointed out to me, yes, we've been in the life of David for a long time, but we are winding down. We're nearing the end of the life of David, but not quite yet today. So we left off last week with Absalom and how he had passed away, how he was killed, and how sin brings consequences. Well, boys and girls, today we're introduced to a new character in the Bible, new person. In 2 Samuel chapter 20, a man named Sheba comes up. And Sheba felt like the nation of Israel should not be following David. He takes the 10 tribes of Israel and he leads them away from David. Just the 2 tribes of Judah are following David at this time. So we had Absalom versus David, and way back we had Saul versus David, and we've had the Philistines versus David, and now we've got Sheba versus David. So Sheba takes the 10 tribes and he convinces them to follow him. That's right, 10 were bad and 2 were good, but that song goes to a different story. So Sheba takes the 10 tribes away, and David has the 2 tribes with him. Well, in verse 4, it says, "Then said the king to Amasa, assemble me, the men of Judah, within 3 days, and be thou here present." He says, okay, go out, get the men of Judah. We're going to have to go to war before Sheba can get much set up. Bring them together in 3 days. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but Amasa took too long. He missed that 3-day deadline. Verse 5 says, "So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him." He took longer than the 3 days that was appointed. Well, David tells Abishai that they need to pursue after Sheba before Sheba can do what Absalom did. Essentially, before he can get much of a following or a lot of people who are loyal to him, he tells Abishai, he's like, we have got to go after Sheba and we have got to stop this. Verse 7 says, "And there went out after him Joab's men and the Cherethites and the Pelethites and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri." They all follow after him. They are taking after Sheba. They are going to get him, the mighty men. Well, as they're going, they encounter Amasa. Amasa comes up by Joab, and Joab is mad at him. He's like, yeah, you're late. You missed your deadline. You didn't get the people when you were supposed to. And Joab actually kills Amasa. Verse 10 says, "But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the 5th rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again. And he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba, the son of Bichri." So Amasa had not done a good job. He had not done what he was supposed to, and Joab kills him for essentially being late. Don't be late. Verses 14 and 15 is where we're going to jump to next. But you've got Sheba. He has taken these tribes and he's now hiding in a city. It says, "And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel and to Beth-Maachah and all the Berites, and they were gathered together and went also after him. And they came and besieged him and Abel of Beth, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench, and all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down." So Sheba has retreated inside of a city. Now, our cities today, boys and girls, aren't walled, but picture a walled city with gates like a fortress. And Joab and his men are there, and they are battering at the walls. They are knocking at the walls. They are trying to get in this city. They want to get Sheba. They have got to get Sheba, and they are pressed against the walls. They are trying to get in this city. Well, the people in the city are like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? And a wise lady calls down over the wall, and she talks to Joab. She's like, what's the matter? We don't all want to die. What is going on? What is it that you want? She explains that she's peaceable. and she wants to figure out what it is that Joab wants before Joab destroys the city. She's like, you don't need to destroy the city. We'll give you whatever it is that you want. So in verse 20, and Joab answered and said, far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so. But a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. So he's like, Joab answers her, he's like, well, I don't need to destroy your city. I just want Sheba. She says, okay, he's yours. We will throw his head over the wall. And basically, boys and girls, if your head's not attached to your body, you're no more, okay? Sheba can't do any more damage if his head is off of his body. So sure enough, she goes back to this wise lady, goes back to the city. She talks to them, and they do kill Sheba. They throw his head over the wall, and Joab and the people retreat. Joab blows his trumpet again, as we mentioned that in the story with Absalom, to let the people know we've won. The battle is over. We've gotten what we need. Boys and girls, evil is punished. Throughout God's word, as we study it and we read through it, evil is punished. Sheba thought he was going to do his own thing. He was proud. He was selfish. He was going to be leader. But boys and girls, who had God set up as leader? King David. He'd set up King David as the leader. Sheba was wrong to try to be the leader. Sometimes we try to do things our own way. We think we know better. Boys and girls, we don't know better. We don't know better than God does. And God had a perfect plan, and Sheba went against that plan. And as we looked at last week, death was the result of his sin. Now, thankfully, the Lord doesn't kill us physically every time we lie or disobey or those sorts of things, but the ultimate punishment of our sin is death. God's plan for us is to do what's right, but doing things our own way and not God's way only brings judgment and heartache, brings unpleasant things. Boys and girls, as much as that's a downer, you notice through all of this that God is taking care of King David. Through all of these things that are happening, God is still protecting and taking care of David. Our sin gets punished, but we serve a great God who's ready to take care of us and ready to forgive us. See you